Hello students, welcome to today's class. Today we discuss the topic current. What is current? Current is the rate of flow of charge. Rate of flow of charge. Current is the rate of flow of charge. You know there are two types of charges, positive charge and negative charge. The body which has excess of electron has negative charge, and the body which has a deficiency of electron has a positive charge. So current means it is the rate of flow of charge, the amount of charge flowing in unit time, the amount of charge flowing in unit time. So the charge is represented by the letter Q and time by T, then current is equal to Q upon T, charge upon time. So it is the rate of flow of charge, means how much speedily the charge is moving, that is called current. So it is the rate of flow of charge. So Q is the charge and T is the time taken. Then current is equal to Q upon T. Now we say the unit of charge. The unit of charge is coulomb. The unit of charge is coulomb and unit of time is a second. Unit of charge is coulomb and unit of time is a second. When 1 coulomb of charge flows in 1 second, when 1 coulomb of charge flows in 1 second, then current is said to be 1 ampere. So ampere is the SI unit of current. Ampere is the SI unit of current. When a charge of 1 coulomb flows in 1 second, current is said to be 1 ampere. So this is the definition of SI unit of current. The SI unit of current is ampere. 1 ampere is a charge of 1 coulomb. Charge of 1 coulomb flows in 1 second. Then current is said to be 1 ampere. The question is 10 coulomb of charge. 10 coulomb charge flows in 2 seconds. What is the magnitude of current? 10 coulomb charge flows in 2 seconds. So what is the magnitude of current? So I told 10 coulomb flows in 2 seconds. So what is the magnitude of charge? 10 upon 2, which is equal to 5 ampere. That is the answer, 5 ampere. So this way we find the magnitude of current. So the SI unit of current is ampere, and the smaller units of current is milliampere and microampere. 1 milliampere is 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. 1 milliampere is equal to 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. And 1 microampere is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 ampere. So these are smaller units of current. So this charge can be, this charge Q is equal to N into E. So the charge Q, that can also be written as N into E. N stands for number of electrons and E stands for magnitude of charge of one electron. So Q is equal to N into E. Q is equal to N into E. So here Q stands for charge, N stands for number of electrons, and E stands for the magnitude of charge of one electron. The magnitude of charge of one electron is minus 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. The magnitude of charge of one electron is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 90 coulomb. Suppose that when a charge of Q is equal to 1 coulomb, when a charge of 1 coulomb flows through a conductor, then how many electrons are flowing? When there is a charge of 1 coulomb, that time how many electrons are present? So we write this formula: Q is equal to N into E. Q is equal to N into E. In the place of Q we write 1 coulomb, and N we have to find out. N into E is the magnitude of charge of one electron, 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Coulomb is cancelled on either side. Therefore, N is equal to 1 upon 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. This one when we solve, we will get 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. 6.25. When there is a charge of 1 coulomb, that time this many number, this is a very big number, 6.25 into 10 to the power 18, 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons are present when there is a charge of 1 coulomb. In the case of metals, free electrons, due to the movement of free electrons, the current flows. And in the case of electrolyte, that is the current is due to the movement of ions. And current is a scalar quantity. So current cannot simply flow. So there must be a potential difference. Then only the flow of current is possible. What do you mean by potential difference? What is the meaning of potential difference? Suppose that there are two vessels. Two vessels are there, and they are interconnected with a connecting pipe. Interconnected with a connecting pipe. And in this one, the water is there up to this level, and here water is only up to this level. So here, suppose at this vessel I name it as A, and this level I name it as B. So you can see that in vessel A there is a higher level of water, and in B there is a lower level of water. When these vessels A and B are connected with a connecting pipe, the water flows from higher level to the lower level. Water flows from higher level to the lower level. And how much time it will continue till the level of water in both the vessels become equal. And another case, suppose that A and B are two bodies. A has a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius and B has a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. A is at a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius and B is at a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. When these two bodies A and B are kept in contact with each other, what is the direction of flow of heat? The heat will flow from body A to body B. So heat flows from a body which is at a higher temperature to the body which is at a lower temperature. How long it will continue? Till the temperature of both the bodies become equal. And in the same way, suppose that there are two bodies A and B. Two bodies A and B. A has 10,000 electrons and B has 10 electrons. A and B are two bodies. A has 10,000 electron and B has 10 electrons. So you can see that the body A has more concentration of electrons and the body B has less concentration of electrons. And if these two bodies A and B are connected with a conductor or a connecting wire, the electrons will flow from A to B. The electrons will flow from A to B. If A and B have same number of electrons, then we say that they have same potential. They have same electric potential. If A and B have same number of electrons, we say that the body A and B have same electric potential. Electric potential. In that case, if the bodies have same electric potential, there cannot be flow of electric charge. There cannot be any flow of electric charge. If there is a difference in the concentration of electrons, then only there can be flow of electrons, which is called a potential difference. So, for the flow of charge or for the flow of current, there must be a difference in the electric potential. Then only the flow of current can take place. So, electric potential is an electrical condition. Electric potential is an electrical condition which determines the flow of current. Electric potential is an electrical condition which determines the direction of flow of current. So, if both the bodies have equal potential, there can't be any flow of charge. So, in this case, the electrons will, in the case A and B are two bodies. A has 10,000 electrons and B has 10 electrons. Then when they are connected, the electrons will go from A to B. The electrons will go from A to B. And the direction of conventional current or current that is opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. So, current or conventional current that will flow from B to A. Then how do we measure this potential difference? How do we measure? Then suppose that Q is a charge and it is at A. and this charge Q is to be taken from body A to B. If we have to move this charge Q from A to B, the charge won't come by itself. Some work should be done. So that work done in moving a charge, that is called electric potential. So electric potential is measured. Electric potential is measured. Electric potential is represented by the letter V. So electric potential is measured as the amount of work done. Electric potential is measured as the amount of work done in moving a unit positive charge from a point to another point. Next is a unit of potential. The SI unit of potential is volt. The SI unit of potential is volt. The SI unit of work is joule. And the SI unit of charge is coulomb. SI unit of work is joule. SI unit of charge is coulomb. And SI unit of potential is volt. When 1 joule of work is done, when 1 joule of work is done to move a charge of 1 coulomb from a point to another point, then potential is said to be 1 volt. So this is the definition of SI unit of electric potential. So from this formula itself you can write. Now see, suppose at 10 joule of work, 10 joule of work is done to move a charge of 5 coulomb. Then what is the electric potential? So 10 joule of work is done to move a charge of 5 coulomb. Then what is the potential? Then just substituting the values in this formula you can calculate. Then V is equal to 10 joule upon 5 coulomb. Joule upon coulomb is a volt. 10 upon 5 is a 2. The answer is a 2 volt. So this is about potential and how to measure the potential difference. The potential difference is also a scalar quantity. Next topic is resistance. Resistance. Suppose that we take a conductor. So we take a conductor. So this is a conductor. So a conductor has a number of free electrons. A conductor has a number of free electrons. Number of free electrons are there. These free electrons are randomly moving on the surface of the conductor. These free electrons are randomly moving. So a conductor has a number of free electrons, and these free electrons are moving randomly, not in a fixed direction. In what possible direction they move. So free electrons move randomly on the surface of the conductor, and there are fixed positive ions, stationary positive ions. Positive ions are stationary. So a conductor has free electrons which are moving randomly on the surface of the conductor, and there are stationary positive ions. And this conductor is connected to a source of current. This conductor is connected to a source of current. When this conductor is connected to a source of current, the free electrons from the source, they will start to move through the conductor. When this conductor is connected to a source of current, like a battery or any source, then the electrons from the source, they will start moving through the conductor. When these electrons from the source, when they will start moving through the conductor, that electrons which are coming from the source, they will collide with the free electrons which are already present on the surface of the conductor, and also with the stationary positive ions. As a result, what is happening? Some obstruction is coming in the flow of current. Some obstruction is coming to the flow of electrons by the material. This obstruction offered by the material to the flow of current is called electrical resistance. It is called electrical resistance. So electrical resistance is the obstruction offered by the material to the flow of current. Next is Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? Suppose that when water falls from a height of 10 meter, and next case water falls from a height of 100 meter, in which case water will come down with higher speed. When water falls from more height, that time water comes down with a higher speed. And in the same way, suppose that if the electrons are coming from a higher concentration to a lower concentration, then that time, suppose that first case electrons are coming from a body of 10,000 electrons to a body of 10 electrons, first case. And in second case, it is coming from a body of 10,000 electrons to 10 electrons, in which case the electrons will come with more speed when the potential difference is more. When the potential difference is more, in which case the electric potential difference is more in the second case. Potential difference is more. When the potential difference is more is the flow of current. When the potential difference is more is the flow of current. So, about this there is a law which is called Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference, provided the physical conditions and temperature remains constant. Current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference, provided the physical conditions and temperature remains constant. The more is the potential difference, more is the current flowing. Then for removing this proportionality sign, we multiply with a constant. This constant is called electrical resistance, and if we make electrical resistance as the subject, then we get R is equal to V upon I. So this is the formula to find the electrical resistance when potential difference and current are given. The resistance equal to V upon I. And the unit of V is volt and unit of current is ampere. When a potential difference of 1 volt causes a current of 1 ampere to flow through a conductor, then resistance is said to be 1 ohm. So this is the SI unit of resistance, electric resistance. The SI unit of electric resistance is ohm, and resistance is said to be 1 ohm when a potential difference of 1 volt causes a current of 1 ampere to flow through the conductor. Suppose at a potential difference of 20 volt, a potential difference of 20 volt causes a current of 2 ampere to pass through a conductor. What is the resistance? Then we substitute the value in this formula. Potential difference I said 20 volt and the current I said 2 ampere. And what is the electric resistance? 20 upon 2 is equal to 10 ohm. So this way we calculate the resistance. We have discussed these topics, Ohm's law, electric potential, current and all. The next class we will continue with this topic.